Hello listeners, and welcome back to ND 5.18. And as always, I'm your host, Andrew. Welcome to our package video. I've been trying to do little helpful, informative videos, teach people how to play Magic, teach people about their play styles, about what's best in each color. I am going to finish up the color combination videos as well, but a lot of different things come up. But to begin, we will be going over card packages, and they are your deck necessities, people. As your information dealer here, I'm here to wheel and deal, and put it all in a nice shiny bow to teach you what is a package. And packages are a select number of cards that are needed for each of the following categories. The categories we'll be going over are card draw, removal, land, ramp, and there are three more on the next slide, but to go in depth here, okay? Every deck needs these key things to function properly. Now, how much of each? That is the real question. For instance, for card draw, every color has a version of it. Some of it do have pure card draw, like in blue. Some have a cost that are supposed to mitigate the pure card draw blue, like in black. It is you pay your life to get that card draw, or you sacrifice your creatures, or you sacrifice artifacts, like in red, or you sacrifice lands, like in red. Now, red had a form of card draw called rummaging, which was you discard first, then you draw. That way, it gave you a sense of randomness about what if you're discarding something good versus what you drew was not. White always had bad card draw till recently, and they've started adding stipulations like based off life, based off a low power creature entering. But those are examples of the card draw packages. Removal, single target versus board wipes. Some people don't believe in single target. They only run board wipes. Now, I believe in a mixture simply because if you don't run any single target at all, or if you come to a point where they're beating you with 1 to 2 creatures, but a board wipe, it's like too resource intensive. Then we get to the land, which is your basic to non-basic ratio. There's some people that don't believe in running basic lands at all. I believe that you need to have a select number, which I'll go over in this presentation as well. Then there's ramp, which is land acceleration and mana rocks. Same concept with the card draw. Numbers may vary, but in your colors, like in green, it is the color of ramp. Blue has artifacts mostly. Red has treasures. White has a mixture now, with some of it like Smothering Tithe giving you treasures, while Gift of Estates get you actual plains cards. Sometimes it's limited to just basic plains. Sometimes it's listed to just cards with a plains type, like in green. Some say forest, some say basic forest. Black's ramp is once again tied to their life, which, as you'll see as we progress through my videos, black tends to get a cop out of if you pay life, you get whatever you want. Blue, on the other hand, has the lowest amount of ramp, but it can go get artifacts, which will help the mana acceleration on there as well. But time to go to the next three. Now, these three are just as important as the first four, but these are the ones that are most likely to be abused and just overall misused by players. Okay, quantity versus quality lives here. First one, counter spells. This is stack removal. I'm going to start referring to counter spells as this because people don't view counter spells and on-board removal the same, which they are the same. Both of them remove a resource in a 1-to-1 with your opponent. Now, the board wipes, on the other hand, different story, right? But there are counter spells that hit more than one spell on the stack. So, I would like you to take this with an open mind here, people. Next, we have workarounds. I'm very happy to be introducing this idea to people if you haven't had it already. These are new strategies and ways to play your colors without having to get Ristic Studies, Smothering Tithes, Trouble in Pairs, the generic, without the one ring, without the generic good stuff that you can just put in every deck to make it work. You can learn new ways around and new ways to deck build. An example of this is top deck play. This is when you play cards from the top of your deck, play with them revealed, like Courser of Krufix, a 3-mana green enchantment creature. States you play with the top card of your library revealed. You may play lands from the top of your deck. Has landfall ability that says every time a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. That's a workaround. Okay. Now, green has its other ways of ramping as well, but I think that's a way that you can have a deck that is not generically the same. The final package is your finisher package. That is quantity and quality as well. I believe that you need a minimum of 3, but some people they try to streamline their deck to only do one thing very well, which can be shut down, but to each your own. Now it's efficiency versus thematic, the age-old controversy, a power level versus just having fun. And now I know we're bound in agony here, but these are some ratios that may help you with your deck building on this front. 30 cards to theme or 30 cards of efficiency max. Hold yourself to a hard stop. Okay? If you're more fluid, have a 1-to-2 ratio. 1 thematic or efficiency to 2 of the opposite. But I believe that everybody should have at least one deck which is it's just all theme. Like, let your deck tell a story. You'd be surprised how much you enjoy it. Now here is something that's kept many a man up at night. How big is your package? I mean, the baseline ratio is there for a reason, people. Card draw, 4 to 6 cards. I think that's a good little wiggle room there for you. Okay, time for removal. Once again, varies depending on the player. I believe single target, 2 to 5 cards. Now get you done. Wipes, 2 to 4. Not too many, not too little. Now your land package. Now that varies based on the deck theme, not on the player. Now you guys out there running non-basics only, I mean, I got a card named Ruination for you, but hey, to each your own. For ramp, 4 to 6 though. Gotta be, if you need your land drops every turn, you need to leave room to get them. Finishers, 3 minimum. That's the stat line here, people. If you want to have more, go for it. If you want to have less, you're messing up. You actively are. Counter spells varies, but a 4 to 7, I think that's enough without going overboard with it. Don't abuse the power. Now your workarounds, treat them like card draw, 4 to 6. Your finishers, once again, 3 is golden. It's on here twice for a reason, people. Removal package, single. The love-hate relationship has to stop, people. Removal is a necessary part of the game. Okay? Now let's make it a little more complex. Okay, we have your non-land removal, your artifact/enchantment removal, your non-creature removal, your permanent removal, and then your regular creature removal. That's all in a single. Then we go to your wipes. When a 1-for-1 shouldn't be done. You got your non-land, your land, your permanent, your creature, your artifact and enchantment. Yes, your removal is not just, oh, I'm going to get that creature off the board. Oh, I'm going to get that soul ring off the board. No, your removal can touch so many different things. And the more expensive it is, the more we can touch. Okay, these are actual cards, example of a package. Okay, more specifically, a creature/enchantment removal package in black. First up, we have Mire and Misery, a 2-mana black sorcery that says to each opponent sacrifice a creature or an enchantment. Next we have Feed the Swarm, a 2-mana black sorcery that says destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal to the permanent's mana value. Third one, Farika's Libation, a 3-mana black instant that says choose one. Target opponent sacrifices the creature. Target opponent sacrifices an enchantment. And finally, we have 3-mana black instant Withering Torment. Destroy target creature or enchantment. You lose 2 life. All of them do the exact same thing. All of them are very efficiently costed. This is a package. Now, I have been referencing my land package this entire video, so I want to show you all the 4 colorless lands that I put in every deck that I own. Okay? Now, special note, I believe in a minimum of 4 basics per color in a deck. Okay? That's my personal philosophy. Some people like to run way less than that. Some people run way more. I just want to make that be known. Now, the first non-basic land that I run is Nephalia Academy. It says, if a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard a card, you may reveal that card and put it on top of your library instead of putting it anywhere else. It taps for colorless. If you have a very discard heavy meta, or wheels, or just anything that's just deplorable like that, run this card. Now, other people will run Reliquary Tower. I can see that switching out with this as well. In fact, it has in some of my decks, but I find this as a hidden gem. The second one, Scavenger Grounds. It is a land desert. It taps for colorless, and you can pay 2, tap it, and sacrifice it specifically to exile all graveyards. This is graveyard hate that can be in every deck. Does not matter the color, especially if you're running light on it. Next we have Demolition Field. I love this card. Okay, I love this card. It taps for colorless. You can pay 2, tap it, sacrifice this land, destroy target non-basic land and opponent controls. That land's controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. You may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. This hates on non-basic lands that are super strong, like Field of the Dead. This gets to basic check your opponent to see if they actually do believe in running basics. And it mana fixes you as well. You can go get that color that you're missing. This card cannot be played enough. And Field of Ruin was what I used to run before this. But the downside of Field of Ruin is that everybody at the table gets to go search for a basic land card. Not just the person that you land sniped. This one fixes that. You all may like it. I guarantee it won't let you down. And then we have Arcane Lighthouse. Now there is one other land that does this exact same thing, right? And if you enjoy this one, I recommend going to get the second one. Arcane Lighthouse states, tap for colorless, or pay 1 and tap it until end of turn. Creatures your opponents control lose Hexproof and Shroud and can't have Hexproof or Shroud. I cannot wait for them to come up with the one that says Ward is removed as well. I promise you. The second it comes out, I'm snagging that one too. Okay? If you run a lot of removal, or you play in a pod or at a LGS that is very protection based, and I'm talking about that real protection, like old school Hexproof Shroud, not Ward, not these temporary boosts, but hard up with that. This land right here and the other one, lifesavers. Well, listeners, thank you once again for tuning in here at Indy 5.18. I hope you all have learned something and have enjoyed the content. Also, please feel free to check out my prior videos as well. I know I released another Spirit Talk video called Influence, and I had also released another Archetype video about the winner. Please take a look at them. I'm going to continue to release content at a kind of staggered pace. I'm going to try to do them on the 1st and the 15th of each month. If I can't, please bear with me. Life happens. And yeah, please live your best life and be well, listeners. This is Ender signing off. Goodbye.